All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is Shot 30 Podcast, and I am Shayne Neubert, and today we have a very special guest. Many people have requested her, and it's been set up multiple times. She's backed out. She's too busy. She doesn't want to be here, so she picks a day that she has to be somewhere in a couple hours to be on the podcast. Yeah. It's Red Perreze, also known as drop.d.e.a.d.red. She's in the studio. She is a burlesque performer, co-owner of Abernathys, and so much more. You've seen her on motorcycles, and
yeah,
and you're a photoshoot like extraordinaire as well.
Oh, well, thank you. I try.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
You see, like, I don't know why I'm wrapping up my fireball. Like, I want to feel kind of ghetto a little bit.
It's in a trash bag.
But Timmery keeps getting so pissed at me because I keep wrapping it up in like a brown paper bag.
A little hobo.
I don't know. I like it. There's something about it that just gives me. I mean, I think it gives me a little spunk, you know?
Yeah, it's fine. I like it. It works. It's unique.
And I'm sorry for messaging you in the middle of the night last night, but I looked for you after your show.
I had to take those heels off immediately.
I totally understand that. I've never had them on before, but
yeah,
I did do a honey and ether photo shoot where I wore a thong. And if the photos are ready by the time this goes up, we'll put that picture right there.
Oh, I'm excited to see it. I love your other ones with the big wings. That was with Par, right?
Yeah,
that was with Par. But yeah, I mean, you do great in photo shoots.
Well, so the day before I'd done the honey and ether photo shoot, and I don't like to be. It was like a lot of things in my past, like there was some bad stuff. I was molested as a kid. So like being naked is like a really weird thing for me.
Okay.
But man, honey and ether were just like, dude, you're hot as fuck. Come on. Like,
yeah.
And I was wearing some red fishnets and like, I just got naked. I didn't care.
Excited for you.
And then Katie, the next day, we were just coming in to shoot some of her, like the flower set that she was doing. Yeah. And I was like, man, I have so much more confidence after doing it the day before. Like it feels like I don't care, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I feel like there's a difference between like being naked is one thing, but being naked and being a character. Yeah. And like it kind of gives you this extra little bit of spunk and like gusto that you want to, and then you end up really embracing that being naked.
Yeah, that's almost exactly how it went. So I mean, we did a 3-hour photo shoot with them.
Holy shit!
And both
great.
Honey and Ether and Katie are both incredible.
Very, very talented photographers.
And so I started, because I went from I used to be a professional power lifter, and I'm 6-pack, you know, I was ranked in the world in powerlifting, and now I'm fat. I got that chubbo, like, and I don't really mind it, but it's, you know, I used to take pictures of myself almost every day in the gym. I was one of those update you with the bicep and stuff like that. But this was such a weird thing because I don't care about how I look. Like I feel good, and the picture was like so awesome, like the one that Katie did, and then we got the "Are you gay now?" Like
what the fuck is that? I don't understand that at all. I saw a post that you had been like, "Hey, stop worrying about that. That's not a thing." It doesn't matter.
It didn't even matter. Like I wasn't even saying like it's a thing. Like whether or not I'm gay now or not.
I mean, if you are, cool. If you're not, okay.
people were saying stuff like, "I'm concerned about you now." Like, are you going through a thing? I'm like, yeah.
Oh, I am going through a thing. It's called accepting myself.
It was just like, hey, I'm having fun. Wait till you see these fishnet pictures.
You're
assholes.
really gonna have some questions. Yeah.
That's between you and the
Lord.
Guys.
Yeah, that's some projection. I think that's some serious projection.
But I want to attach a couple of pictures. We're gonna put some pictures up of you right now. You are also known as, I've heard this multiple times, have the greatest butt on the podcast. Like that's what some people have requested. I mean, I'm sorry if that does offend you in some way, but have the greatest butt on the podcast. Or like, I mean, there's been so many people, just some of your like, I don't know if it would be considered pinup stuff. Is it called pinup stuff? You're very inked up, and you do a lot of motorcycle shoots and stuff like that. But they're very, very good. You have just such a different look, and I think that even with doing the photo shoot myself, like that was cool for me, but you have a look that everybody wants to put in a magazine.
It's kind of weird. I didn't realize that until about a year ago. That like I have a unique look, style, whatever. But yeah, I didn't know that. But I do, and I'm proud of it.
You're serious? Like, you didn't know this? Like, I mean, like, even looking through your page, like I told you before we started, I stroll through, I already know who you are. You're a celebrity in the old QC. But, I mean, you've always been amazingly photogenic.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
So did it transform more?
Yeah. It did. I kind of got out there more and started, well, I have friends that do a lot of photography, and so it was like, well, we need somebody. Could you do one of the promo shoots? And I was like, oh, yeah, fine. Because I actually don't love getting photos done because I'm so critical of myself. So unbelievably critical. So, but then as I started kind of just like letting go and like accepting and being like, okay, this is who I am, and getting more comfortable, like each tattoo, I get a little bit more confidence. So I started like getting a little more coverage, and I'm more like, yeah, I'll do whatever. But I had no idea that I had a look or could pull off certain things until I stopped caring and just fucking did it. You definitely have
a look. I mean, but like even too, like your photo shoots are very powerful. Like your pictures that you do are, whether it be a like women empowerment type of photo or like I'm just a motherfucking badass like type of picture, I truly think that you own it so much that it makes it like a different level.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, like, thank you. I guess, like, well, there's a ton of people who could do the same photo, but everyone looks a little different. I try to come with like a whole packaged concept, and I want to nail it.
And it starts with the hair.
The hair helps.
And I mean, in no way can that be a real hair color.
No.
What's your...
Not one bit.
So what is your real hair color? Is it brownish? I can see the roots a little bit.
Roots, yeah, I'm like, what am I? I don't know. I've had this since I was 18.
Oh, you're leaving it up as a mystery.
But no, when I was a kid, it was like strawberry blonde.
Okay.
Yeah, my kid has like golden blonde, strawberry red hair.
I mean, but the red has taken over, clearly. I mean, you've named yourself after it.
Yeah.
And then you take care of the eyebrows, too, which is important.
Red.
I mean, we can't, like, I've got these natural browns, like...
What beauties.
But there is some times where I do think to, like, tend to my eyebrows as a man, which is not very common. Just because these will turn into, like, a bushel, like I
think grooming's important.
Yeah, they'll go crazy on me. So I take care of them. And I've always been we got sponsored by Manscaped, cool. And which like transformed to me like learning how to shave like my whole body. You're not gonna find a hair on this body, including butt crack. I'm proud of you. And I did want to say that. So speaking of butt crack. I met this girl last night, complete sweetheart. She was the one, she had the flowers.
Kitty Bardot.
And her butt was out?
Yes.
Dude, wow.
Yeah, she's so daring. She does that all the time. And she like wears a merkin. And I'm like, oh my God, no.
I just couldn't.
Scared.
Yeah, dude. I'm scared. I'm like, dude, what if I got something going on back there? Like, there's a million things.
She's just a powerhouse, and she just wears. Literally, her tagline is "wears nothing but a smile," and that is 100% true.
And some people are like that. They just don't like. When I say don't care, maybe that doesn't sound right. It doesn't give the person justice to. When someone's so comfortable in their own skin to do that, wow, what a message. Like when she walked off the stage, and for those of you that don't know, last night, Red did a show, and it was a beautiful show at Taboo and for Village Theater, and it was absolutely awesome. But there was a performer, and she had just a beautiful, like, display of flowers all over her.
She was kind of like a Mother Nature character. Had flowers in her hair, green velvet like draped all over her. She just looked gorgeous. And
the two things you have to cover are nips and lips, right?
Yeah.
Is that?
I mean, butthole too.
Oh, so
probably not.
Did she have a flower on her butthole?
I think that it kind of just
she just kept them clenched.
Opposite.
She never separated them.
Don't separate those.
But it was like a breathtaking, because I've been to so many burlesque shows and stuff like that, and I'd never seen butt crack like that before.
It was all out, man.
It was. It definitely was. But we'll get back. We're going to dive back to the photo shoots and burlesque and stuff like that. But, God, we're fucking 11 minutes in, and I haven't said it. Shot 30 Podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, CastBox, YouTube, all those things. Please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. I mean, it doesn't take much time to literally, you're looking at our beautiful faces. Just go right down, hit the subscribe, and go leave an Apple review. It makes a difference. But... so with you, I like the Abernathy stuff. Uh-huh. Now, Abernathys is incredibly cool. I'm going to let you explain what it is, but it's also very creepy, which tells me that you're a creepy person.
Yeah, a little bit.
You're definitely creepy.
Yeah, Abernathys is like if you took Becca and my brains and just like peeled them apart and looked inside. That's what it is.
And so, yeah, if you guys want to go shop for brains, just go.
Yeah.
But we have a baby doll. Now, this baby doll head is a nightlight, and you both make these things.
Yeah, Becca specifically made those crazy little baby doll head lights. It's an antique baby doll.
We'll put a picture of it right here.
Yeah, she hollowed it out. So she saved all the little baby doll blinky eyeballs for me, so I can make things out of those. And she makes the baby doll headlamps.
Okay, so with the baby doll lamp, so ours, we'll plug it in the bathroom at night, and I don't know if it's the kids fucking with me, or if it's Timmery fucking with me, but it started showing up in different rooms. Like, it was in the kitchen when I was like, it's 1 a.m. Who did this at this point? So then I was like sitting up. It was 1 a.m. I went back to the bedroom, walked back out, was in the bathroom again. And I'm like, okay, the girls are really messing with me at this point.
That is some serious mess. That would be very terrifying.
I just made that story up. But I do.
I was like, dang.
But I do feel like its head twists a little bit.
Just like ever so slightly is always looking at you.
Sometimes the light flickers and I'm like, I just changed that. I know I put it on
bad
tape.
Electrical. It's fine.
But you guys have so much more.
Yeah, we focus on so we have 3 main categories. It's vintage, handmade, and weird. Mm-hmm. So vintage, obviously, vintage clothing, and accessories. We don't so much do house decor stuff anymore. We just don't have the room. Mm-hmm. And then we do handmade. So we feature, I think it's over 30 or 40 local national artists that come in, like Death Stitch. I don't know if they do the cool T-shirts on the back of flannels.
I mean, I don't know who Death Stitch is.
You'll see it, and they're cool. They're awesome guys and girls. And then we have the weird. So it's going to be more on the oddity side of stuff, weird stuff.
And how does it do?
Well, the Quad Cities turns out it's weird.
Yeah. I mean, I could tell you that much.
Yeah, it does well.
So is that your full-time job?
Yes and no. So I actually work at a law firm.
Get the fuck out of here.
I work at a law firm. I do real estate stuff for, we get contracted by John Deere.
I was just going to say, I would just go rob somebody right now just for you to be my defense attorney. Because that would be the coolest fucking thing ever.
I had jury duty the other day. And the lawyer that I work for, she came and she goes, well, you were a hit at the courthouse. And I was like, I talked to no one. They saw you.
Your luck.
Yeah, and they knew I worked for you, so... But yeah, I do that just part of the week, and then I'm at Abernathy's the other part of the week, and on the weekends and stuff. It could very well be a full-time job, but Becca's there, and we have employees now, so we're big.
Hell yeah. You get to tell people what to do.
Yeah, we write lists, and we're like, please do this.
No, you're polite.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, we're chopping off babies' heads, and then you're polite.
Yeah.
But so did you eat now? If I hack this up, please just let me know. But you just joined Bottoms Up?
I did. So I'm a part-time performer, which is great for me because I don't have the time to dedicate all the time.
And it's a lot of time.
It's a lot of time. Mm-hmm. So those full-time people they're the powerhouses. I can't. But I just joined them a couple months ago. I think just kind of around the new year. Maybe I'm mistaken. I can't remember the time. But yeah.
Yeah, it seemed about right. And There was two freelancers that's what I refer to them.
Yeah.
Like, or as what you would have been. Mm-hmm. You were just kind of performing whenever you wanted to, and then you joined. But
yeah, cocaine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, do I need to bleep that?
Yeah, cocaine.
Let's bleep it. Right there. 15 minutes. All right, we're going to do it again. Okay. But cocaine?
Yes.
Wow, what a name.
It is cool.
But she was kind of a freelancer as well. And you two, like, I've seen you both perform on the same stage at the same time. And I was like, wow. And then people told me that you were both not a part. You kind of just freelance, kind of like Celtic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just think that's such a cool thing as well. People who do that, because there is so much, like, I don't want to say girl drama, but like, I just want all these girls, like, let's love.
I think it'll happen. I have hope.
I think it will too. Sometimes you gotta let time heal men's, and it does. I mean, you know, you think about a time you've been the most pissed off in your life, like something that happened, and you're so mad in that moment, and then 2 weeks later you're like, it didn't really.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even remember it the same.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know, you've like, and the longer time goes, like, memories start to get like real wonky, and so I think, you know, I hope that things, whatever is out there, just comes to a head and either gets talked about or gets just brushed under the rug.
Mm-hmm. And so will you be performing at the Bottoms Up show that will be at the Circa big stage?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
I hope. I mean, we have to audition just like everybody else. So.
If they don't put you on stage, that's a
I'm
fucking
gonna
mockery. We will podcast about this every fucking day because that would be a damn shame. But you are a showstopper performer. Like,
Thank you
are somebody that... so when you went to walk up, like, I knew, like, I've known of you. I knew I wanted you to be on the podcast. A lot of people have requested, and I think this is probably the first time we've ever actually talked.
Yeah, I think so.
And, but the one thing I paid attention to is, like, my brain is always, like, my head's always on a swivel, is people kept saying, like, when you were standing in the back, they're like, oh, this is my favorite. This person's my favorite. And I saw it from so many people in the crowd. And that was, like, such an awesome moment, because you're walking as, like, a powerful, it's a power move. You're like, hey, everybody, I'm not walking up from on a stage. I ain't no basic B. Like, I'm fucking walking my ass through all of you motherfuckers.
I do enjoy that.
You get to see the front and the back, but it is so powerful.
Thank you.
But that was so incredible to see so many people go, this is my favorite. Like, this person's my favorite.
And I can't hear that stuff, but I'm so appreciative. I love that.
There is so little that you hear on stage.
Oh yeah, you don't hear shit.
Like, you can think that, like, oh, I bombed or I sucked so bad, and not realize, like, no, you didn't.
Yeah, and I've had to come to, like, to the realization and accept that sometimes silence is the greatest form of flattery. They're just watching.
Oh yeah.
So I've had a lot of shows where people are just very quiet, and then at the end it's like, oh yeah, cool, you did great, but I'm like, oh god, I sucked.
Well, so, like, with burlesque, I mean, that's a very cool point, because I would say, like, when you do stand up, you're doing stand up and you tell a joke and people don't laugh, it sucked.
Yeah.
But if you do burlesque and people are just watching, like, I mean, sometimes it is okay to be breathtaking, and a whole crowd can be, and that's the way multiple people, like, even when you were up on stage last night, or when you were up on stage, it was one of the Bottoms Up shows. I can't remember if it's the one I did stand up at, or I can't remember.
I didn't perform at the one that you did stand. I actually just was in the audience for that one.
No, it was the one before we had went. Maybe May, it's the one where I think May had the big alien head.
Yeah, yep, I did a Mars Attacks routine that one.
Yes, but yeah, like, you have, like, people just stop and, like, they're quiet from, even though you want the woos and like, ow. But sometimes people are just like, Jesus.
Yeah.
You got Jergens in the bathroom, dog? Like, dude. But it is, but, like, I think that, in my perspective of burlesque, what a powerful way for women or even men, like, whoever's doing drag, burlesque, anything. I think they're both very similar, but, like, to feel like that form of empowerment, I guess it would be like the room is locked in on just you in that moment.
Yep. Yeah, you just command the stage.
Yeah. And so like what is your reason for being on stage?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I mean, I love it. I love everything about burlesque. It's a passion of mine. I don't think I'll ever stop doing it.
What made you get on stage?
I got a call, and they're like, "You're gonna do burlesque," and I was like, "Oh God, okay."
This
and
is
I did it.
You're like giving me the shortest version of a
That's
story.
That's literally what happened. I started. How many years? 2009 was my very first show.
Okay.
That I ever performed at the.
How old were you?
Capitol. I was 19.
2009.
20. I was 20.
2009. Okay, wait. So you're 33?
I'm 33.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When girls only when you're our age. Oh my God. Sorry, I said that so weird. But okay, so we're in the same boat.
Yeah. Yeah, but I got a call. So it's Burlesque Mustache, and Danielle Colby started that. And we were really, really good friends. I worked for her and all that. And one day, she just called me, and she's like, I've always wanted to start a burlesque troupe. We're going to do it. It's going to be called Burlesque Mustache, and I need you to be a part of it.
Is that out of the Quad Cities?
Yeah, it was out of the Quad Cities. It was the first burlesque troupe in the Quad Cities.
Oh, okay, yes. And then there was like, that's where the spin-offs started, like, not spin-offs, I guess, but...
Yeah, just like the divisions of troops, or the dividing of troops and stuff started. Yeah, but, a lot of the performers that are performing these days came from there.
And so you're an OG.
Yeah.
So you'd be like Snoop? Are you gonna go see Snoop?
I want to so bad.
Oh my God, I just bought Timmery tickets for it. Oh. And woo, I missed out because those tickets now are way more expensive than they were when they came out.
I'll just ask you how it was.
Yeah. It was
Take a picture for me.
I told her so last night I got off work and I did not feel well. And so I know Timmery will be pissed at me if I didn't want to go. Mm-hmm. We already have plans. I already bought tickets to the free show. Blah, blah, blah. And so I didn't feel well. So I knew that she spent they were $20 a ticket for the show last night.
Yeah, I think so.
So I was like, $40. I'll spend $350 on a ticket for her and a friend to go to Snoop Dogg just in case I don't feel well and don't want to go to the show tonight.
Very kind. I'll be like, sorry, I just don't feel well.
Yeah, but I knew it would have been like, okay, fine. Yeah, I know you don't feel well, but you're going to the fucking show. So,
you just sit. You're okay.
But if I would have been like, hey, those Snoop tickets, hey, me and a friend, it's like, you can go. I'm not a big, Snoop Dogg wasn't really a powerful movement in my era, or other than Drop It Like It's Hot, dude.
Yeah.
That's what we got out of
I think it's just like getting to see an icon would be cool, but I'm not about to pay $300 for anything.
It was very expensive.
Yeah,
One time I had a girlfriend, a 2-week girlfriend, one of those, and she said, "I love the Bears so much because I'm a big Bears fan."
Okay.
The Chicago Bears.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a football
imagine
team.
it was an animal.
Okay. I wasn't telling sometimes what is it? Isn't Bears like a nickname for a bear and a cub? Isn't that like? See, when I go to gay bars and stuff, guys
like
always
burly
call
man because you're bearded and hairy.
Yeah, they want me to be their cub because I'm shorter. But I'd like, listen, I'm a manly guy, and I'm gonna prove this right. I am a manly guy. Don't keep calling me somebody's little baby.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Don't call me your cub, dude.
Please.
But no, so I had bought this girl $600 tickets a piece because
do you just have a lot of money?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just checking.
No, I
Seems
don't.
like you do.
I really wish I did. But so I had bought us each tickets I wanted us to be close because I really wanted her to like football. She was super sweet. Yeah. And we went to the game. We were in the first quarter. Now there's 4 of those quarters if you're not a football fan.
I'm not a football fan, but I do know it.
Okay, yeah. So there's 4 of those.
Okay.
And she was ready to go after 6 minutes in the first one of those.
Oh.
And I was like, hey, my wallet's not ready for us to go.
We're sitting here.
And so we broke up on the way home.
Cool. Good job. That sounds fun.
It was a really awkward.
I would have never had the balls to be like, let's go. Ever. I would have been like, you paid so much money, I'm going to fucking sit here.
Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to, there's a lot of plays in men's minds, like, hey, I want to do this for good, do this for bad, but I was just like, hey, this could be really fun.
Yeah.
And it turned into a disaster real fast.
That sucks.
What's the worst date you ever went on?
I've never been on a date.
Never once. Never once. Okay, then go ahead and explain.
Because
this is more riveting than never being on a date.
I don't think and if I had, it was with like someone that I considered a friend at some point and didn't understand that I was being taken on a date. We were just hanging out.
So but you have a boyfriend, husband?
I have a husband.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I only marry people.
Okay.
So that's what, are we getting married?
I mean, no, I just didn't see a ring, so I don't want to ask.
I get really dry in the winter and I took it off because I was chapped.
Okay, that's okay. Like, listen, I'm not interrogating you.
Well, it feels like it. No, I'm just kidding. No, I just have never been on a date. Men do not approach me very often, and so I don't know.
So your husband, he looks like he kind of looks like a guy who, if I'm thinking of the correct man, he looks like a guy who could possibly kill you or possibly give you just like the best hug ever. It's only a coin toss.
Yeah. He's very, very like straight faced, quiet. Yeah. Yeah.
Was he there last night?
He did not. He actually ended up having to work really late until like 9:30. So, yeah.
And so, hey, anybody else out there? She's never been on a date before. Hit that Venmo.
Yeah. I mean, when I met my husband, so I've been married twice.
So have I.
Yeah. Well, good job. Congratulations.
So we did it in the same time frame.
Probably. I got married when I was 21 for the first time.
I got married when I was 24.
I was like. Got married again in 2014. So whatever that math is. But we never really went on dates. He was on tour with a band that I was working for this record label for, and then we met, and then it kind of just like never separated, and then lived together, and then got married later.
Okay, so we're gonna dive right into that. He was on tour for a band you were working for.
Yes.
Okay.
Working for the record label.
Okay. So what were you doing for the record label?
I was kind of.
This is why you don't give a fuck about Snoop. She actually worked for Snoop. Snoop, come on in.
Yeah. That'd be great.
We'd be very high.
Yes.
We wouldn't even have to smoke anything.
No, just hang out.
There would be more smoke coming out of his mouth than your coffee right now.
It's still very hot.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing.
Fresh pod?
Yeah. But I worked on a record label. They were doing this CD that needed, like, it was a compilation CD of a bunch of different artists. So I had to reach out and get songs and permissions and like paperwork kind of stuff. So, and then I did merch for that. Like I toured and did merch for them.
And you kind of have like like kind of that aggressive look to you, like, hey, don't fucking fuck with me type of look.
I mean, many people don't. So,
do you want people to?
I absolutely do not want you to. I'm gonna no.
Okay. I feel like this first 30 minutes of this podcast have been fucking riveting. like
a lot of stuff.
I know. And see, this is like when I had said this to you beforehand, sometimes when you know a lot about a person, it kind of like tapers things back. Mm-hmm. But isn't it kind of cool to like get to know, like me and you get to know each other over the course of an hour?
Yeah.
I mean, you know nothing about me because I'm a loser, and I mean, and let me be honest, she fat shames me. Like,
that is not.
That is not true. That is not true. She said that my angel pictures were beautiful, and there's that picture. The picture's right there.
Gorgeous.
but no, like, it is so cool that. Honestly, up until you walked in the house, we never even talked. Like last night, even we were texting each other, goofing, but I just knew we've had just so many people want you on the podcast.
It's bonkers to me.
see, the podcast is so cool because it intertwines. We get such a different reaction with every single guest that we do. Sometimes we have a terrible guest, like, Todd Wilhite. No one likes you. He's a terrible comedian. Like, now he's moving away. Like, that's why. But no, it is such a cool thing when we have so many people. Like, I want to listen to you talk, not me, you. They want to listen to you talk for an hour.
That's crazy.
How often do you get to talk to somebody for an hour without a phone, without a distraction, or anything like that?
Yeah, not often at all.
Yeah, and if I make it that long, like normally, I've said a lot of bad things at that point. But when I'm on the podcast, I'm pretty conscious. All right, I'm gonna lay back. I know, yeah, but so that's why. And sometimes I really like to say like aggressive things, and so I bleep it. So like right now, I'm gonna call you like something super bad, and just because I want to bleep something at this point.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna say this, but I'm not actually gonna say anything bad to you. I just want to bleep you piece of like, and I'm gonna bleep. Just gonna keep like I'm still saying something bad to you, and that's how well I think through. It's just gonna be all bleeps the whole time.
Just the entire time.
Yeah, and then people are gonna try to read my lips, and they're gonna put it down in the. But if you know what I said, leave it down in the comments below. But no, it is so much fun. It is so much fun. And actually, when we get done with this podcast, when we post this, you're gonna have so many more questions from people.
Why are you the way you are?
well, our podcast it's done really well overseas. Like the podcast itself, not just like the YouTube. Our YouTube sucks because you guys fucking suck. But we were actually ranked the #1 podcast in the Philippines, the Bahamas, and Germany. Comedy interview podcast for a while. Yeah,
that's cool. My husband, he is a quarter Filipino, and he has family over there.
Thank you for doing that for us.
That's cool. Tell him about that.
Yeah, I got in trouble because at one point I said, "Who are the weirdos who eat turtles, like baby turtles? Like they suck their heads out, they cook them, and then they suck." And then people in the Philippines were like, "That's us."
That would be me.
And I was like,
I like turtles.
And that's the only place I like turtles. But that was the only place our podcast was doing well. And I disgraced them all.
You need to embrace them. Yeah.
Do Filipino people speak in a different accent?
Yes.
Or like a language, I guess?
Yeah. Yes, they do.
Dutch?
No. No, not that one. It starts with D. I would text
Denver.
Yes, they speak in Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate when they do that.
Something like that. I can't remember. My husband was just talking because my father-in-law still can speak that.
Dugala.
That might be very wrong.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Sure, any D word you can think of.
I got one in mind.
But I
it's 4 letters. Ends with a K.
Duck.
Oh yeah, he's good. Witty.
But yeah, he still speaks it because he's half Filipino. So. Yeah.
Well, I'd like to know what his other half is.
I think it's Irish.
Damn. So he's got that real red hair.
Yeah, both my husband, my kid, me, or all three of us, bright red hair when we were born.
Oh, it is. I think genetics are like one of the weirdest things in the world.
They're wild.
It really is. Like,
crazy.
Because I would love to be. What would be your perfect combo? I think honestly, with you, I don't even want you to give your answer because you're like, I'm already my perfect combo.
Not me. No way. I was like, and a man?
Okay, for a man, yeah.
Dark hair, green eyes.
Green eyes. Are you familiar with people that have 2 different colored eyes?
Yeah, I have a friend who has those.
Yeah, I have a guy, he has one green and one brown. Uh-huh. So he got a husky that had one green and one brown. Great. Just because he knew he'd never find love.
Oh, well, that's kind of sad, but also great.
He's just terrible. He's just terrible to people.
Oh.
Yeah, so he didn't deserve it. He once told me that podcasts are terrible, and I have one.
Oh, that's fine. Whatever, don't listen to it then. No, I have a friend who I think it's like one bluish green and one brown.
Yeah, that's a cool look too. That's like having the reddest hair that you've ever seen in a human being ever.
Yeah, I want 2 different colored eyes. I have freckles in my eyes.
Freckles?
Yeah.
I don't know how that works, but
it's weird.
I did hear a joke about a freckle last night at your show. Did you happen to hear that one?
I didn't. I missed it.
Yeah, he was talking about a freckle right by his peel. And we'll just leave that at that.
Okay, all
I don't
right.
want to ruin somebody's joke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you got into burlesque, and then, so what did you do before? Like, what was the Abernathys idea? Like, what was the concept behind Abernathys? You just really wanted to...
Yeah, so Becca and I both worked for Danielle. Danielle Colby, she does American Pickers.
Okay.
We worked for her, and we were...
So a famous person.
Yes.
Do they want to be on the podcast?
I don't know. Probably not. We don't really talk anymore, so... But we worked for her kind of in this, so we consigned art when we were like really young, like 17, 18 years old, and Danielle's like handmade store in LeClaire. And then we went our separate ways, whatever. Becca ended up moving like to Des Moines for a really long time. And then we kind of came back and we were both working for Danielle again. I was like her assistant for a while, and then Becca was working at Antique Archaeology for a bit. And then we started both doing like handmade items. Like Danielle would design an item, and then we would go make it. So we were in this like little studio area, and Danielle ended up moving to Chicago, and
She was getting too famous for you guys.
I guess I don't know. It's like, it was just like her family went there, and it was just easier for her at that time. And she lived in Chicago a long time ago before that, so she just wanted to go back. And then Becca was like, "Man, I really wish we could have our own shop," and I was like, "Let's do it." And literally, that's what happened. So we opened Abernathy's in 2013.
Wow, so it's doing very well. And cooking along. Is American Pickers the one with the two guys too? The one oh okay, so I know the short I don't want to say the 3-letter word. But it just feels fitting because he was a dickhead.
Oh yeah.
The fat one.
Frank, yeah.
Okay, so he came into Menards. I was the manager of Menards Lumberyard in Kewanee. And he came in, and he was like throwing well, they told me that they had a special order purchase for me, and I need it right now. And he's just screaming, and the people are like, dude, we don't even know what you're talking about. Like, let us figure it out for you. Like, we understand.
Give us a fucking minute.
And dude, he was just screaming, do you know who the fuck I am?
Ew,
Like,
that's gross.
Oh, dude, the grossest.
That's gross. Don't do that.
It's the grossest. Like, I don't understand. Clearly, I don't understand what it's like to be famous.
Well, don't do that.
Yeah, but
That's
that just seems like you went the wrong way.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But even I am a bit of a TikTok celebrity though. Like I'm a big deal on there.
Yeah?
Like a bit big. I mean, like I never tell anybody how important I am. Like because clearly I am. No, we went like super viral because I made a fake penis. And so I bought 2 pairs of sweatpants, and then the second pair of sweatpants, I cut one of the legs off and I filled it up with stuffing, and then I sewed it in the crotch region, and then everybody thought it was real.
Oh.
Yeah, and so people were concerned about me, want to know how I do daily activities, so I started walking people through how I do daily activities.
Just like lug it around.
Yeah, how do I drive? How do I go pee?
With it.
What kind of underwear do I wear?
None.
And oh no, I made something. Like I had
It's very complex.
I had a pair of American Eagle underwear with a giant hole in the front. Like, I don't free ball, but a free dick. Oh man. So, what made you want to, after so many years, what made you want to join Bottoms Up?
They asked me.
That's literally it.
I'm like, yeah, they asked. Well, so I.
Red has the most riveting stories, guys.
Yeah, you guys all really wanted me to be on here.
She's been married twice, but never been on a date.
Like a proper date, like take me. No, never. But so I did burlesque for a really, really long time, and then stopped doing it for a minute there, kind of when Burlesque Mustache dissolved. And then I got back into it, but I was pregnant, 3 months pregnant when I did my first show back with Bottoms Up at the Circa. And then from there, I did Sideshow for a very long time. So that kind of filled that gap. And then I went back as like a guest performer for Taboo and Bottoms Up. And then they were like, you do shows with us. You might as well just be on the troupe. And I was like, no, I can't. They're like, part-time? I was like, okay.
What a deal, though.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, because it's all the same perks of being like kind of a freelancer, but I have a home base now. And I didn't realize how important that was until like last week when we were all like just practicing, hanging out, and I was like, oh, like these people share this passion and they understand where I'm coming from with a lot of things, and I'm happy to be a part of it now.
It's the same thing, you know, with Bottoms Up, Mary's, and Taboo and stuff like that. House of Sin and all these House of L. They become a family together, and
sure.
you know, like whether it be kind of what we spoke about, little like the like drama between anybody or this or that. You know, what's most important is your family. Each one of them, like, they become your family. That's why I like to be, you know, like, especially with the podcast, like, I like to be a freelance guy. I like one of my favorite things is this podcast. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it for 150 episodes. Like, I love to talk to people as an individual. It would sound weird if I say I don't care about you with burlesque or you with... That wouldn't be true. Like, I couldn't say that and it sound true. But what I do, I care about you as an individual, and want to know you or have people listen to you. Like, I love going to Bottoms Up shows. I love going to Mary shows. I love going to Taboo shows.
Yeah.
Like, dude, go to a Taboo show. Like, it's literally a lineup of just butts. Like, if you guys like butts, just go see great butts. Like, but like everybody last night, I mean, it was just such a breathtaking thing, and I even sat there and thought to myself, like, Sarah, Sassy.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah, I love her. She's and Daisy and then I was sitting there last night and I was just like, I just love these people. I don't care what their like which group is their home. We're all still people at the end of the day, you know, and I just wish everybody's groups could all just be like, I just want everybody to be the best. That's all I ever want.
I mean, I think everyone's striving to be their own form of their best, which is great and perfect because you don't want everything to be the same. And that's what I like so much about guest performing is that I'm able to go into that house, that different house, and experience it, take something from it, and put it back in my house if I feel like they need that, or sharing things. I think it's great, but absolutely. I enjoy how all the troops are ran, and separately, it's cool. Yeah,
and see, so I've done burlesque once. Yeah. Super hot. I was a bit of a heartthrob out there. This is how I became, not to call myself a celebrity or anything, but this is, so I did a stand-up set at the Spotlight Theater. I got to do stand-up for Mary's, they did their student showcase show.
Okay.
And then she asked me if I wanted to do stand-up at it. And I was like, the only way I could ever do justice to the show is if I do burlesque afterwards. Okay. So I did my stand-up set, and then I did burlesque right after. I was like, it's everybody's first time up on stage tonight. Like, maybe it should be mine. And then I had a little Nas come out, call me what you want, call me. And I was like wearing a romper and diamonds on it. Yeah, and I was crawling around. That's
awesome.
But that was like, that was probably the first time I felt like such a celebrity. Like, and then I didn't get anything free. Like, I was at McDonald's, like, this egg McMuffin. I still have to
Don't you know who I
am? No. But you are such a cool. You're such a cool person. Not just. I mean, an hour-long podcast won't do you any justice because you even make your stories short. Like, girl, your brain's all over the place. Like, do you just think, like, so, like, when you were young, did you just think, hey, I'm gonna dip my toes in every pond I can possibly do?
I don't know how that fucking came to be, but I'm like, let me just do a little bit of everything. Like, I'm constantly doing everything. I don't know. I did nothing when I was a kid. Like, I played outside. I was creative, like music. And
were you an athlete?
Hell no.
Were you a theater?
Not really.
What the fuck, dude?
I hung out with, like, my friends. Like, I liked music. I liked, like, dressing up in, like, cool clothes, like, making my own clothes, like, being weird. And that was it. Like, I didn't do anything.
What were you in school? So your senior year of high school. Yeah. When you walked out the door that day, who were you?
Barely graduated.
Okay. You're like, hey.
I fucking made it by like the skin of my teeth, like a 2.0 GPA.
Yeah, okay. Yes, you were going with the 50%.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I didn't ever like fit within like a certain group, which I think is kind of true to me still. Is like I just kind of independently just kind of like mosey on through, you know, which is great. I think that's what like everybody should just mind your own fucking business and be cool.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know? But
so you were just like first tat.
Yeah, I did have a tattoo when I was in high
First
school.
piercing right, which I just got my ears pierced for the first time in my whole life.
Whoa.
And I called his dick one time. I was like, he showed me a picture of his penis. I was like, damn, daddy thicky. And so he made me a fucking computer and called it Little Thicky.
Little Thicky.
And so he's hooking it up. He was just here a little bit ago. He wanted to make sure everything that we had was up to little Thicky's standards. But, okay, so my earrings, it gets caught on everything. So I can only imagine every like cheeseburger you bite into, like.
I mean, I don't notice it.
Did it hurt?
Well, yeah, but just for a second.
Okay, but so you've never had an issue with that? There's nothing behind it.
Well, like.
That's like literally what I'm talking about. Yeah, there's some back there.
No, I mean, like, I don't feel it anymore. I've had it for years now. I used to have a smiley, which is like that piercing in that little web that you have, and that fucked my teeth up.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking about. Like, it's just the grind, because even my ears, like, when I was sleeping at night, because they say you can't take it out for 3 weeks, dude, I had, like, scratches on the back of my head.
Yeah, no, I don't really feel anything. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just piercings alone. I just thought like, well, even I never thought I would get like a tattoo on my forearm. We're all brought up to think that this is so bad. You'll never get a job. No one will ever take you serious. And I mean, even you face that too, kind of when you're like, even what you just said in court the other day. People aren't judging you off your wits. They're looking at you and just being like, this girl looks crazy as hell.
I mean, you walk through Bettendorf Hy-Vee with like your child and they're like, did you steal him? Like, you know, like my husband, he has like face tattoos and stuff like that. We've definitely been judged on the way that we've looked. When Becca and I started the business, we wanted to be in LeClaire, and it was like, immediately no.
Yeah.
Hell no. You guys are children with tattoos. That's ridiculous. You know?
But sometimes it's that feeling alone that makes you want to be even more. Like, it makes you want to do it even more. Like, I want to be more over the top. Yeah. Sometimes when I say, like when I'm doing stand-up or something, I make a joke, and then I want to, like, I hear the way people are like, here, a better example. The angel wings, people to say stuff like that, it made me want to go a million times harder. Like, it was like, okay, does anybody have a gag ball that I could put in my mouth?
I can get you one.
And like, I'll like hang a couple of strap-ons out of my butthole. Or like, it just makes me want to be like, why are you so worried about me?
Yeah, just fucking chill out. Be okay with everyone else being just simply existing as whatever they want to be. It's fine.
I think that people would have a problem with you just existing because you're existing above other people. Like, here you're like, listen, I know I'm super famous, but but you know, you walk into if you're on a show or on a card, people are coming to watch you, which makes other people jealous or butthurt or mad. Now, and I'm not talking other performers. I'm talking people like, just the nosy people who don't do anything with their lives or don't. People that I guess what I want to say is the people who want to jump to judge you are the people who have nothing to judge because you're just doing nothing. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's like human nature to feel that like a little bit of competitiveness and like, oh, maybe they're better than me or I'm better than them.
But you're like the most stagnant like person, not stagnant, but like, you don't even talk about yourself. Like, you're just like, hey, like, I'm going to be at the show, maybe.
Yeah. Want to buy a ticket?
And then and that's it. And then I'm like going through other people's stuff, and then they're just like, "Hey, Red's gonna be here. Red's gonna be here. Look at it." And then everybody's like, "Oh my God, Red." But you're just like, "Hey, look at." I'm just gonna be there.
Just live my life.
Uh-huh.
You all live yours, and if I'm included, that's awesome.
I love that. I've so many times I've been eaten alive by what other people have to say, and I want to get so much better at that. And I have people in my life right now that are teaching me to do that.
Yeah.
Like one in particular, or like a few in particular. Of course, my wife. She just do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Or like Judy. Judy's one of those for me that I call. Sometimes I call Judy. And I'm just like, "How are you, Switzerland? Like, I need your help right now because I just want to be a guy that I just want to love people." But sometimes it's so hard because people are like, "You got to pick a side," and I'm like, I will never be that. I don't want to be that.
You don't have to.
Yeah, but people sometimes try to make you.
Well, fuck them.
And that's where you learn, like I'm in the process of learning to be the best version of myself. Like by no means am I. There's sometimes I get up on stage and I murder doing stand-up. And then there's sometimes I literally I am bombing. Like so bad that I don't get, and I used to come home and just be like, I shouldn't be doing this. Like this is, and then now I'm in the process of being like, wow, I suck tonight. Like, let's drink, let's watch Survivor, and I'll eat your butt. I don't like.
And tomorrow's a new day where I'm gonna suck a little less. So it's fine.
Let's at least mix it up some way or another. I sniffed Rush. Have you ever heard of Rush?
The band?
No, this is definitely not the band. Because if you sniff them, how'd they smell?
I don't know what that is.
Rush is something that you sniff that you can get from like the Lion's Den or a place like that, but it loosens up the muscles in your butt.
Oh.
And so I sniffed Rush the other day on a podcast episode with a friend, and that was an experience.
With your pants?
It was like, whoa, what's going on here? But I was like, hey, if I feel like I suck on stage one night, I just always come home and do something new, like sniff Rush.
Sure, loosen up that butthole.
Yeah. But see, I'm probably the most. There's some days I come home and I'm like, Timmy, I don't want to do stand up anymore. I want to be a cow milker. I want to be the greatest cow milker in the world. She'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, okay, go ahead.
Cool.
I'm like, I think that I would be a great basketball player. And she's like, no, you wouldn't. You're 5'7". Red is taller than you. And like, we would be at the show last night. She'd be like, every girl on this stage is taller than you.
It's our heels.
Other than hula hoop guy?
Calvin.
Dude, Calvin K, baby.
Can you even tell me another more beautiful person in this world?
Wow.
I can't.
First of all, did he used to have a different name?
Yeah, a long time ago. I think it was Calvin Climax, but that was a former self. I think he's moved on from that.
And because I've talked to him multiple times, complete sweetheart.
So nice.
And what a talent.
So talented.
Just because when you're sitting there, and I mean, all I could think about was like, man, if I had an edible in my system right now, dude, I'd be tripping. I could hire him for one of our house parties. And dude, I'd just be what? He was the other person showed a lot of butt crack last night.
Yeah, he just had like a little
oh yeah, there was just something
sack there, just tied up.
I don't know if I'd say a little sack.
No. Yeah, no, he's so
breathtaking though,
yes.
Absolutely amazing. Incredible. Yeah, and there's just so many. What I really enjoyed about last night. There's just so many people with so many different talents. That is what. Do you costume yourself? Do you design all your own costumes, I assume, right? Yep. Uh-huh. What was the most difficult costume you ever made?
Most difficult costume. I don't know. I mean, they're all like the difficult. They're all difficult.
I definitely understand that.
A few times I've wanted to make like really crazy things. Becca helped me make a leather corset so I could do fire play with them. And then
we have some of you guys' corsets upstairs.
Do you? That's awesome.
Too many of them.
No, never. But probably like whenever I have to ask somebody else to help me, those seem to be like the most difficult.
Oh, yeah.
But I kind of, through the years, I've tried to scale down my costuming a little bit. Still make it really beautiful with like the rhinestoning and stuff like that, but like less stuff. I don't want to stuff anymore.
What I think is just like so crazy is sometimes people spend so much time on these costumes.
Yes.
Just for one show.
For 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even if you're like, I'm making this pull-away bra, which pull-away, do you sell pull-away bras? Like the pull-away ones?
Mm-mm. Like
because,
the cup, where you take the cups off. We don't sell those at the shop.
Oh, you had the what? Now, what was that last night? You have this twisty.
Yeah.
If we have a picture of it, we'll put it up. Yeah. If you're okay with it. If not, we'll scratch it.
It's like a piece of.
And you made that?
Yeah. So it's like a piece of wire with like a PVC that goes around it, and it just like weep.
That was awesome.
And then I just tied it with jewelry elastic string.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
it looks like it's
because you can barely just see it, but the light just catches it just a little bit that you can see. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, that and I just like and I may hack this name up just because I've never met Dahlia Dutch.
Dahlia Dutch, yeah.
Dahlia Dutch. Mm-hmm. She had those wings.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think Mary made those.
I did think that I saw that.
I saw a post that Mary made, and Mary made wings in a little tiny picture, and I was like, oh, I think those are the same
I
things.
thought so too, but like, wow, that's just like a breathtaking. Like you like someone made those. Like when you think about those types of things, like somebody made that. Like that's I talk about May's Predator, Alien Predator, like just. And I've talked to her boyfriend or husband about that, but like just how much time.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable.
It's all for that moment. You just do it for that moment. And I know sometimes I look back and I'm like, I've spent so much goddamn money on this. And I was on stage for 3.2 seconds. Like, that was it. And I'm done. But I made a presence. I made my presence known with this fucking cool costume. So it was worth it.
And, I mean, but you have made so much of a presence, not only in just the burlesque, but the weird world, like the weird, but it like on so many different ways, because I've heard your name so much, like so many times. And I mean, and last night was just kind of like the icing on the cake. Not that I was like, wow, this feels, it just felt special just to see people when you went to walk up, thinking like, I really hope she actually does the podcast. That's what I was thinking in my brain. Mm-hmm. But then to see so many people go, oh my gosh, Red's my favorite. Red. It was just such a cool thing to see throughout the crowd. Or, and sometimes you notice like somebody's mom or somebody's like boyfriend or husband or girlfriend or wife, and them go like, them just watching their person on stage. Yeah. And that is the reason why people are up there.
Yeah. I could see you and your wife sitting there.
Yeah, well, the spotlight was like right in my eyes as I was watching you.
You closed your eyes the whole time. But I was like, okay, so I know those people. I can walk towards those people, and I could see where my other friends are there, So that it makes me feel more intimate too. Like if you know a few people in the audience, you can really play it up.
But you have this, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong here, but when you walk on stage, your taste is like elegant, but like power. It's like I want to act like nobody else in this room exists except for me, and not in a negative way, but just like, God, it just starts with your hair, and then you're this beautiful, like gorgeous woman.
Thank you.
But then you're just like moving, and like you can feel the crowd. Like you gotta see the head shift. Like, if you walk to the left, dude, they're all like, "All right." You walk to the right, they're like, "Yeah, there she goes." But you own everybody for those 3.5 minutes.
That's my goal. I just want to be I want to command as much power and strength on that stage as possible when I hit that. The moment the music comes on, all eyes better be on me. It's my job.
Hey, you do a good job.
And if they're not doing that, then I did a bad job.
Even I knew, so I had turned and saw that you were behind. You were standing back there because my wife does this now. Like I've at so many of these shows as well. Like I notice where people are placed. So, but when your music started playing and you're waiting, you're standing back there and all the heads to shift. What a moment, right? Like right from the start, you did exactly what you wanted. All right, everybody turn and look. Yeah. You got it right from the start. I think it's awesome.
Thank you.
I think you're awesome.
Thank you.
I would love to have you back on the podcast. We're over an hour. So,
really?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's weird.
We're in an hour and 5 right now. So,
crazy.
Where do you want everybody? Can everybody find your stuff somewhere? Like, I mean, you got drop.d.e.a.d.red.
Yes.
Instagram?
Drop_d.e.a.d.red.
We'll put the link here. It'll be attached down below. If you guys are listening on the podcast apps, it'll all be attached down below.
Otherwise, find me at Abernathys.
Yeah, go spend your money.
Yeah, give me all your money. I got costumes to make.
And do you make costumes for other people?
I totally will. I have in the past. Becca and I both have. So we are up for commissions anytime.
All right. And how do they reach you for that one?
Just email the shop abernathys@yahoo.com.
Abernathys@yahoo.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or hit us up on Instagram.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Like, this was so much fun. That blew by way too fast.
Yeah.
And I would love to have you back.
For sure.
And we got 4 other mics, so we can always have a party in here. But thank you so much. This is Shot 30 Podcast. I am Shayne Neubert. And look at Red looking beautiful as always. She's got a show to go to right now.
Yeah.
And maybe she needs we'll hook you up with another tattoo upstairs. There's a quarter machine up at the gas station in town. This is a big booming town, right?
Yeah, I was like, wow, big city.
Very white. Yeah. This is Shot 30. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Woo!